What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JunesEightyEIght, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Jones, Ep.3. We steamrolling into the game, baby. We in here, baby. Yeah, I'm telling you. I told you. I've been on the ball. I've been dropping content like crazy. I'm proud of myself. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody doing fantastic this morning. Hope everybody had this Thursday. I hope everybody having a great week so far, and hope you're staying productive. I hope you're doing something that matters. I hope you're just not slacking. And there's something I want to talk about. I just want to kick off the show like this. There's a meme that's going around. Y'all probably seen this meme. It says, red pill, blue pill. Red pill, I think it's the red pill you go back to when you were 6 years old, and with all the knowledge you have now, and yada, yada, yada. And the blue pill is you have like $100 million. So I was in my group chat. I said it to my group chat. People like, yo, man, I go back to when I was 6 years old and just F the game up, yada, yada, yada. And I'm sitting back like, me, I look deep into stuff. I look further than I should look into things. I'm like, that's how they trick you. That's how they trick you with some things. They say, all right, take the blue pill, you go back to when you're 6 years old. They don't tell you. I'm like, my question is, do you go back to the year you were 6 years old? Or is that how they get you? Like, yeah, you go back to 6 years old with all the knowledge you have now. So it's 2022. So you say you go back to when you're 6 years old. Now you take the pill, you wake up, it's 2022, and you're 6 years old. You wake up in the bed, you're 6 years old again. But you have the knowledge of what you had when you're an adult. You know what I'm saying? You see the loophole? Like, then you look around, I thought you said I was going to go back to when you are 6 years old. You know what I mean? Like, people don't ask questions. Like, do I go back to when I was 6 at that time? Or do I just pop this blue pill? I'm 6 years old in 2022 and I got all the knowledge of when, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So now you got to grow up as a 6-year-old all over again. You got to do all that bull, you know what I mean? And then on the other half, $1 million, $100 million, or whatever the money, how much it is, how did you get that money? You know what I mean? Like, you are you know what I mean? It's like, you wake up with $100 million in the bank. What's it called? You got to get, it's like how, yo, did the check clear? I'm not talking about it till the check clear. Like, I've never had that much money a day in my life. So I don't know if I can just hit your account at one time, $100 million or whatever, or like a processing fee, all the stuff, you know, all the stuff that goes on with that much money. I don't know how it works with that much money. I know it got to be something. You just don't drop $100 million in the bank with no, what's it called, no invoices and paper trails and all that stuff. Like, they gonna be questioning, how'd you get this money? Where did this money come from? There's $100 in there. There's $100 million in the bank. What's really going on, Playboy? You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. So I'm like, yo. But in theory, if I had to answer that question with like just to play along with the thing, I would say I would go with the money. Just give me the, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would I go back in time to when I'm 6 years old when I could just take the money and just go? I could do more with that money than, like, I'm 6 years old again. I'm still a kid. I'm about to be a kid again. I got to grow up through all this stuff again. I got to go through all this bullshit. I'm getting new. I mean, it's good on the gambling tip. I mean, if you're a gambler, like, it's great on that tip. Like, when you get, like, a little older, it's like, yo, you can make bets. You know what I mean? Like, gamble a little bit. You know what I mean? I bet such and such this much money for this on this game. You know what I mean? You feel what I'm saying? Like you gotta on that tip, yeah, I would do it. Go to Vegas, just bet a little bit, like bet. When you get 21, just go to Vegas, just bet something on games, just be betting, knowing the outcome. That tip, you know what I mean? But just give me the money and go. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. And yeah, like in the comments for the people watching this, what would you take, the red pill or the blue pill? Blue pill, go back to when you're 6 years old. Red pill, 100 million. But then again, I look at it. If I'm looking at it that way, I would try to get enough money to invest into, like, I would find the guy who's over Uber and Lyft. I would invest, like, yeah, I want to invest into this startup company called Uber and yada yada yada. I want to invest in this. I want to invest whatever I have into this company. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? I would want to, like, yo, let me invest into, because one of Shaq's, he said in the interview, like, one of the biggest regrets I have is not investing in Starbucks when I had a chance. He said, I said, nobody would ever pay $5 for no coffee. He said, boy, is I wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. That's what I would do if I had that kind of money. If I had enough money to, like, just invest, like, yo, little startup companies, like, yo, it's kind of like say, yo, who would pay yada 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 for, you know what I mean? It's kind of like a car service. Like, instead of renting a car, like going to get a rental car, it says like another thing was like the same concept as a Airbnb. I think it is. I think I watched Squadcast yesterday, and Meg Scoops was saying that it's kind of like an Airbnb thing. You just rent a car for a flat fee, but you don't know what you get. It's really like you don't really know what you're getting though. I don't know how it works. I didn't look into it, but it's like something like that. Like, yo, nobody's gonna give you, okay, like Lyft, you get an Uber, you get into somebody's personal car and ride with them somewhere. They take you to where you gotta go. But for somebody to give you their personal car or a personal car to drive for like the weekend, you know what I mean? Like, oh snap. Nobody's gonna do that. Like, I would be the person, like, I got however many millions in the bank, I'll take that chance. You know what I mean? I'll take that chance. I would gamble with that. I would gamble with stuff like that. That's my kind of thing. Like, if you got to invest, I wouldn't mind taking the gamble. And speaking of gambling, not even gambling, speaking on switching gears real quick, y'all know my album, 88th Avenue, is out right now. It's doing quite well. It's doing really well. The numbers are looking really good, especially on Spotify and Apple Music. Everything is looking really good. I got a lot of positive reviews on it, so I'm happy about that. Really excited about the views I've been getting, like the reviews. It's always a good look to have people that actually rock with what you're doing. And it feels good to see people like, yeah, I like this project, you know. I've been getting a lot of good reviews, a lot of good feedback, and that's dope to know that I put out something that people actually like and people enjoy. And it always feels good to know that people rock with you. You know what I mean? People really be rocking with you. And it's just like, yo, we all in, man. We all in, baby. We all in. And it's great. It's great. It's great. And I'm glad, and I'm gonna link that in the description as always to that and the merch that go along with it. Now, to get into the if you see me looking over, I got my notes above the camera, so I'm like, I gotta look over, and I'm gonna talk about consistency, and it ties in to everything going on now. I talk about consistency And the next two topics they tie in together, so it's gonna be one big thing. But first, I'm gonna start off with consistency. Consistency. So with people, you gotta always be consistent with what you're doing, and it goes into my YouTube channel, and just life in general, people in life. I started my YouTube channel July 4th, 2011. I remember like it was yesterday. I was at my aunt's house for the 4th of July. Me and my mom was at my aunt's house for the 4th of July. And I had another channel, but it just wasn't clicking the way I wanted it to. So I started another YouTube channel, which is this one. And I just started it. And I just went full force with it. Like I was just happy to be making videos. I wasn't caring about views. I didn't care about none of that. It was like that hungry stage. Like, yo, I'm hungry for YouTube. I didn't know and I remember when I first got the YouTube partnership, I could run ads on my videos and all that. I wasn't making no money. You know, it was like you had to get past a certain cap for you to even get a check. You know, so it's like I come from the grind days. Like then I was just hungry for it. And I started seeing results. I started seeing numbers grow, and I was getting thousands of views. I remember when I hit my first 1,000. Then I remember when I hit my first 10,000. Then I remember when I hit my first 100,000. I'm like, yo, this is a thing. I was like really going. And it's one of the things where when you go back, when YouTube started to change, they did the whole adpocalypse and everybody's YouTube channel started. I was like, realistically, I was on the ground level. I wasn't up there with the Dame Drops, the Tim Chanzaransu, the Dormtainments, the Hot Damn I Rocks. Those guys are up there. They are way up there on the totem pole. I was just like, man, I was just happy to get like you know what I mean? I was just doing good. Like I was getting views, but it wasn't like what they were doing. And I remember when they would start talking about it, yo, they got hit, but it wasn't like hardcore hit. Like it wasn't like people like me, like at the bottom, like, man, I'm lucky to even crack 100 on a video. You know, I'm lucky to crack 19 views on a video nowadays. Like I said, the last time I hit 100 views on a video was when I did the American Crime Story impeachment. You know what I mean? I always expect those kind of videos to do numbers because everybody's reviewing it at the same time. But I expect that. But before that, I lost sight. Like I told you, I used to do videos, come back, like, yeah, the same song and dance. And in the words of Tony Baker, drink you some water. Get some water in your life. Stay hydrated. Shout out to Tony Baker. Hopefully one day I could probably get him on here. I probably can't. I don't know. He's super famous. But shout out to Verbal Cardio. Yeah, I lost the passion. I used to say, yo, I'm gonna come back. I start doing videos again, then I stop. Then I come back again. I'm gonna start doing videos again, guys. I stop. And nothing was never good enough for me. Nothing was never good enough for me to nothing was never good enough because I made the excuse, I can't edit videos. I don't have nothing to edit videos on. So I didn't have no editing software. Nothing was good. Nothing was good enough. So I just stopped. I said, man, I can't edit. I don't want to do it. And then I start stepping my game up. I got a new laptop. I got my iPhone. I always had an iPhone, but I just hated editing on my phone. I used to use every excuse not to, to do certain things. But I said, coming into 2021, the thick of 19. I said I gotta find something to do because I can't do shows. I got to do something. So I came up with this Coffee with Jones podcast. So let me do this to bring my friends on and yada, yada, yada. That's when I said, all right, cool. I like doing this. I'm back. I fell in love with YouTube again. And people, I heard my boy Altitude, and I heard other people like, yo, like, I'm just trying to build I'm trying to build a community. Like, I really don't care about the numbers, yada, yada, yada. Like, yeah, man, you're right. And I'm like, that stuck with me. Like, let me get back to when I was hungry, back to when I was just making videos for the fun of videos. Like I said, my video do 20, 30 views, that's fine. If I do 100 views, fine. I do 100,000, fine. Long as people who watch this give my videos a chance and watch it and take something from it, cool. That's what I'm about. And that's what still goes with being consistent. I think a lot of people lose sight. Like, oh, I'm not reaching the people that I should be reaching. I'm like, if you're reaching somebody, you're doing something. If you got, let's say you got 100 subscribers on YouTube, that's 100 people that want to hear what you gotta say. That's 100 people that want to hear what you gotta say. And if you got 25 people, that's 25 people that want to hear what you gotta say. You know what I mean? And YouTube is a revolving door. You never know who's watching your videos. You know, you may put a video up one day. You may put a video up on a Monday that gets 25 views. Then the next day, you put another video up, you get 25,000 views. Like, yo, I don't know what I did and said or did in that video. I don't know who reposted this video, yada, yada, but it did numbers. It's like in music. It only takes one song. It only takes one song to take off. It only takes one. That's my motto with music. Like, I always tell myself, it only takes one song. You never know. You put a song out on a Monday, and by Friday, it's the biggest song in the world. Don't know how it happens, but it happens. You know what I mean? Organically, because a lot of people be out here faking the funk. I seen it. But that's besides the point. But I just look at the game like that. You gotta stay consistent, and when you start, don't stop. Just stay consistent. There's another partner I have. Another partner I got, I always fuss them like, bro, you always working on a script, a film, and you're always writing, but you're never putting it out. You're not consistent. Like I remember a few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 6, 7 years ago, had a dope little web series he was working on, but he just stopped abruptly, out of nowhere. Just stopped. I'm like, bro, like that, I was invested in it. Like, yo, I'm like, whatever. Oh man, well, you know, the people I wanted to do in the videos didn't want to do it no more. So because they didn't want to do it no more, you just stop. You can find actors. There are YouTube group pages where you can say, yo, I'm looking for actors, yada, 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 part-time. I may not be able to pay, but I can feed you, yada, yada. There are people out there that just want to act. There's people that want to be out there just to build a reel. You know what I mean? So I'm like, we got to get over the excuses. We got to get over the hump. That's what stops a lot of people being consistent. Me included. Like, I just told you, I was making an excuse. I couldn't edit. I didn't have a camera, which I always had the camera, but I didn't have the editing software. Like, that was my biggest. I just didn't want to just half-ass the video. That's my biggest thing. I didn't want to half-ass. But that was just aiding the excuse of like, yo, just, you know what I mean? Just wait. Don't half-ass. Wait till you get a good better camera. Wait till you pay for some editing software. You know what I mean? Because they was editing this free software, but they kept a little logo at the side of the video. And I didn't want to do that. I said, nah, screw that. I don't want that in the... You know what I mean? I want to do everything. I want everything to look good, you know. And if I couldn't do that, I wouldn't do it. And I just started to tell myself, be consistent. Don't stop. Keep going. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people just lose sight of that. You know what I mean? They just lose the sight. Like I say, I just try to encourage people to stay consistent. Don't make excuses. Even when you feel like there's not enough time in the day to do something, that just aids the excuse. I don't have enough time, man. That's an excuse. If you can make time to do everything else, you can make time to break your neck for this person, break your neck for that person, do something with that person. Oh, your spouse wants you to do something with them. And if you gotta wake up if you go to sleep early, now I'm gonna go to sleep early, I'm gonna sleep at 7, I'm gonna get up at 2 in the morning, I'm gonna finish this project, I'm gonna get some recording done. Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap during the day. I'm gonna be up all night working on this while the family sleep, or while I have time to during the day it's like you get calls every day. You're doing something. I always call them. My mom always calling me like, yo, I need you to do this, need you to do that, do this. It's like at night where everybody's asleep, everybody's relaxing, everybody's unwinding down. Nobody really calls anybody at like 9 o'clock at night. You really don't be getting, unless it's an emergency. People really like, all right, that person's at dinner, eating dinner right now. That person's probably asleep. I'm not gonna bother them. You got time like, all right, I'm gonna relax, set the tone, do some recording, do some editing, hell, do some filming, go out, do some stuff, work, You gotta make the time. To stay consistent, you gotta make the time. You know what I mean? You gotta make that time. If we can't make excuses no more in 2022. And like I said, I know people we're at the age where people have families, I see a guy, right? I know a guy right now, he has a family. And he goes out, he's always shooting. I don't know the guy personally, but I follow him on Facebook. Dude, I remember when he first started doing photography and film and stuff. Dude's a beast. Wife and kid. Shouts out to him. I may bring him on the show one day. I may reach out to him. And I got another buddy. He's an actor, and I was asking him one time. I said, bro, how do you manage it? Like, how do you do it? He's like, do what? I said, how do you manage? How do you have time to go on tour, be a husband, be a father, have time to kick it with the squad and do all this other stuff? Like, I'm looking at you like goddamn Iron Man in these streets, goddamn Black Panther, damn, like, dude, how do you do it? Like, I see what you doing, like you filming, looking up scripts, doing, you everywhere, like you hosting, you're doing everything. And he looked at me like, to tell you the truth, bro, this time management, bro. I make the time. I'm like, and he said it so smooth. I'm like, that's all it takes. Like, I ain't got no kids, I ain't got no wife, I ain't got no girlfriend. I'm just me. And it's still like trying to find the time to just do stuff. I got it. I realized it's one of the things I always knew to do. I make time now because I always, okay, if I want something, I gotta do it. I gotta go for it. You know what I mean? Like last week before the New Year, I gotta do these videos. I gotta go back to what I was doing. I got lazy, and most of the time I'm just being lazy. I don't feel like editing. I don't feel like, I don't feel like doing things. But I said, let me get back on the grind. Let me get back in the mode of like doing what I always wanted to do. And when he told me, like, yo, it's just time management, bro. I find the time. I make the time. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like there's a lot of people who don't do that. They They use the excuses. Oh, that person has this, he has that, they do this, they got us. And what they got to do with what you got going on. You know what I mean? I tell people be complaining like, bro, the other people got more on their plate than you. And they make it work. You know what I mean? And it's like, what's your excuse? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what is the excuse? You know what I mean? There's no excuse. Like, bro, you are making excuse. You're going to be up in age where, to an age where I wish I would have did this in my 20s or my 30s. Like, dude, you're not consistent. You're not consistent. And then again, there's a, and it goes with consistency. Quincy Jones, bunch of songs, bunch of hits, but he said he didn't get his first big hit until he was 50, and that was Thriller with Michael Jackson. Hello. Don't ever give up on your dream. He was 50 when he worked on Thriller with Michael Jackson. 50. Consistent, and he worked in Motown. But the biggest joint he had was Thriller with Michael Jackson. Gosh damn, that's like, never give up on your dream. Like, I'm always about never giving. I don't care how old you think I don't know how old you are and what you think. Oh man, I'm 30, man. I'm 29. I can't do this no more, man. I told y'all that in the last thing. Like, buddy of mine, like, yo, man, we getting up in age, man. We almost 30. You can't. Nah, don't put that on me, bro. I don't think like you. I'm not gonna stop. I refuse to quit. I refuse to just say no. I'm 30. I'm giving up. Hell no. 2 Chainz was in his 30s when he took off. You know, we forget how old these people are when we're young. We forget, oh man, they 27, 28, and you know what I mean? People lose the sight. People forget. You know what I'm saying? People forget. But it's all about consistency. It's all about just doing a damn thing. Saying, I want to at least try. And I remember a buddy of mine told me years ago, like, yo, I'm going to try this joint for a year. If I don't get it in a year, I'm just going to quit. If I don't get it done, it takes more than a year. Nigga, I'm like, bro, it takes more than a freaking year. It takes more. Like, you don't even scratch the surface within a year. It's impossible to get anything done in a year. 1 full year. That's what you're giving yourself, a year. 1 year. That's like, all right, man, I ain't got it in a year, man. You can't even get 1 million, you can't even get 1,000 subscribers in a year. You can't even get 1,000 followers in a year unless you're buying them. I mean, organically, you can't even do that in a year. Organically, in a year. Can't even do it. Unless you're doing some sideways stuff like thirst trapping. Yeah, but if you're organically doing something, you cannot even do that in a freaking year. It's impossible. I don't care what nobody tells you. And if you do get 1,000, you got a machine behind you. You got somebody backing you. You got something behind you. You're not doing it yourself. You got some side company feeding your channel or feeding your Instagram page. You're not doing it organically. You know what I mean? Consistency, you know. You gotta do it organically. It's like, I'm all about being consistent, and I've been doing, and for the people that follow me, subscribe to this channel, that have been with me since day one, who's seen like, oh man, what happened to Jones? What happened to Junie? He pop up, come back, pop up, come back, pop up. And I've seen people do that on YouTube, like people that disappear for years and come back. They channel ain't even the same no more, because you lost that audience. And they try to put up videos again. They ain't even cracking what they was getting back in the day. We're not even getting that. You ain't even cracking her. You're not even getting 20 views a video. You know what I mean? It's like that consistency. And it's about consistency. And I'm going to go to the pivot. I'm going to talk about the pivot. The transition of, I'm on TikTok now, right? I'm doing pretty good on TikTok. I got 500 something followers on TikTok. I'm doing good on TikTok, right? But at the same token, it's like, people only follow you on certain platforms for certain reasons. If you are on, there's a girl I follow on TikTok. I went to her YouTube channel. She only got like 200, 500 followers, subscribers on YouTube, but she got like 100 something. I got like 1,000 something, a few thousand on TikTok. But, you know what I mean? It's like, it don't add, it's like, people, the way people are, they don't want to, people attention spans are only so, it's like, honestly, people can only take so much of a person. People don't want to see you talk about life and what you're going through. I want to see whatever you're doing on TikTok, that's what I'm subscribed to. Whatever you're doing on Instagram, I'm subscribed to. I want that. I don't care about your car just broke down 2 days ago. You don't know what you're going to do about it. I don't care about you about to get evicted from your, I'm here for this. And it's sad, but it's just people like, they want that. And I was kind of person back in the day like, yo, when Vine was a thing, when Vine was the biggest thing, 6 seconds, I'm like, some of these people ain't gonna make it. I'm like, some of these people aren't gonna make it. It's not gonna, it doesn't work. And I remember when my uncle told me about Vine, like, yo, there's a thing called Vine, and it's 6 seconds. I'm like, and then I'm like, I said, people got some short attention spans. Either man, for some people, 6 seconds is too long. I'm like, when he said that, I'm like, gosh, damn. 6 seconds is too long for some people? I'm like, whoa. When he said it, how he said it, I'm like, yo, that's true. You know what I mean? It's like, you can only grab people's attention for so long. You gotta know how to transition. All right, man. Vine, the people who got it early on Vine built a following. Like, yo, I know this ain't gonna last long, so I'm gonna try to build this following. Like, all right, everybody, I'm about to stop, get off of Vine. I'm gonna transition over to YouTube. So get at me on YouTube. You know, and for some people, YouTube don't last that long. Like, all right, now I want to use YouTube as a platform to pivot to acting or to this or to that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a transition thing. All right, cool. I want to build up a following. I want to build up a following enough for so people, because that's a lot of things people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand. Like, a lot of these big corporations, they don't give a damn about anything. They just say, okay, you got 100,000. All right, cool. As long as your channel don't promote violence, degrading women, and all that stuff. As long as you're not doing, you can promote our product. We'll send you whatever you want, and as long as you're following buys into what we got, cool. That's a lot of things. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I got just because of some of my people I subscribe. I checked out. All right, cool. Let me check that out. Let me check that product out. You know what I mean? And all right, cool. And that's how it is. And it's like, all right, cool. Then you see people like, I'm a big fan of Dormtainment. I just saw Rome in, I think it was a Target commercial or Amazon. It was an Amazon commercial. I'm like, oh, that's J. Rome from Dormtainment. I've been following him for years. Then I saw Alpha Cat in the commercial. That's Alpha Cat. That's like, I see all the YouTubers I follow from back in the day on commercials now. I was watching them back in the day. You know what I mean? Hell, I was in the comments. They responded to some of my comments back in the day. You know what I mean? To see that now. And a lot of them have transitioned into bigger and better things. You know what I mean? Bigger roles and bigger things. Like, oh, snap, they doing this now. All of it is a platform. All of it is like, yo, all right, I want to build up this kind of platform. I want to build this up to transition into this, because YouTube ain't forever. I mean, YouTube, you know what I mean? YouTube just, you want to, like, people that don't want to do YouTube forever, like, you can do YouTube forever, but if you're not, you got to transition. It's kind of like I said, get in early, then cash out. Get in, make as much money you can, and cash out and invest. What do I mean by that? As y'all know, I do music. And I told somebody a long time ago, I don't know, it was one of my homegirls, a homeboy. I told somebody that I want to get to a point where I don't even have to be like Drake. I would love to be that. I wouldn't want to be that famous, but if Lord bless me to be that level of fame, I'm cashing out early. Like, when I get to that peak, like, all right, I'm superstar. All right, let me cash out. I made enough money. All right, I'm gonna start investing my money in other businesses. I'm still gonna do music, but I'm just gonna tap out early. Like, all right, cool. Because in music, people, some rappers, the lifespan of the average rapper ain't that long. It's like, all right, cool, you get like a good solid 5 years or something. That's guesstimate. Like, a lot of rappers who was popping, a lot of artists that were popping years ago ain't popping now. They not even it no more. You know what I mean? They not it. So, all right, cool, let me make enough money, invest my money, and I got I guess if I got $100 million in the bank, all right, cool. Let me invest in this. Let me put my hand in that. Let me buy some land. Let me buy this. Let me take a chance on this startup company. Yeah. That's how they said Chameleon there got so much, is filthy rich. Like, yo, it's like, I remember on the Breakfast Club, it was Paul Wall, Slim Thug on the Breakfast Club. Like, yeah, Chameleon there invested in this startup company, this startup app, and it just took off. I forget what the name of the app was, but if you know it, put it in the comments. But yeah, and years ago, people was like, it was an NBA game, I think it was the finals, like, yo, how Chameleon there on the floor, see, how he, this man is broke. Chameleon is a smart man. Like, people act like these people are like, oh, I ain't hear they fell off. They must be broke. You see them at how they paid for the freaking tickets, you idiot. What's wrong with you? It's like, and Chameleon was never like the biggest rapper in the world. He was making, but he was good. He was a big star in the South, but he wasn't like mega. You know what I mean? I think his biggest song was Riding Dirty back in the day. That was his biggest song that went mainstream. And they used that song in the Addams Family. Hello! In that Addams Family movie. I'm sure that movie did numbers. And he got broke off for that movie. You know how much they probably had to pay him for that? And I'm pretty sure Chameleon is fully independent. I'm pretty sure he did that on Universal, so I don't know how that may work. But anyway, I set out to say, you gotta know how to pivot. Like, a lot of people don't want to rap forever. A lot of people don't want to act forever. Like, a lot of people like, yo, I don't want to act. I'm going to start directing. I don't want to rap forever. I'm going to start producing. I want to start managing. I want to start a record label. I want to be behind the scenes now. And that's understandable, and I get that part. You got to know how to pivot. You got to know, like, yo, what do I want to do? I want to do this. I've done this for so long, now I want to do this. I've done that for so long, now I want to do this. I want to live comfortable. I want to be able to pivot. I want to be able to transition into something else. You know what I mean? And that's about it, y'all. But before I get out of here, there's one more thing I'm going to talk about before I get out of here. Relationships. My buddy hit me up today. He sent me a scripture. Everybody knows I'm a firm believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. And he's like, yo, man, he was telling me about, it was a scripture about marriage. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, man, I take marriage seriously, man. And all that he was telling me about. I was like, I do too, man. I take marriage serious. I take relationships serious. Like, that's why I'm not in one right now. Because I take marriage super seriously. I said, I don't think our generation takes marriage seriously. There's a lot of people that are married now, that are still together. It's like my boy's parents, they've been married for 33 years. I'm like, wow. It's very rare that we're gonna see our people that we know that stayed married that dang long. Like, yo, you been married for how long? Jesus Christ. That's a long damn time. 33 years, that's a long time. You know what I mean? It's like then people my age look at people who've been married that long, like, yo, how did y'all do it? Of course, every marriage is different, every relationship is different. Like, you know, there's some ups, some downs, some like, I can't stand to look at you days. Like, but it's like, I think people just give up too easily. Like nowadays, everybody, especially this day and age, people like, yo, burn and turn. You know what I mean? Like one bad argument, it's over. One bad, whatever, it's over. You know what I mean? People can't deal with a lot of stuff. You know, that's why I'm like, yo, I want to be. And a lot of people jump into marriages too early, and that's why they crash and burn. Like, yo, you ain't got, as a man, you got to be able to protect and provide. If you can't do either of those things, you have failed. You know what I mean? Like, what are you providing for this girl? If you barely making it on your own, like if you were like, yo, you just married her just to marry you, like, yo, I love her to death, if you can't provide a home, if you can't provide anything, don't waste this girl's time. Just stay dating for a while until you get yourself straight. Now, I want to make sure I'm good before I propose, and just put that like, yo, let the girl know, like, yo, I'm gonna marry you. I'm not gonna waste your time. We ain't gonna be. It'd be like people been dating for damn near 15 years and still ain't married a girl. Like, nigga, you still ain't married this chick. I ain't ready, man. I ain't ready yet, man. You know what I mean? I'd rather you get it right the first time than to divorce this chick. You on your second or third freaking marriage. You know what I mean? But that's besides the point. I take marriage seriously. And that's about it, y'all. This has been Coffee with Jones. I hope everybody enjoying the series, doing the new show. I got another one, my wrestling podcast on the channel called Beer with the Boys. If you like wrestling, tune in today. And that's another thing that goes with consistency. There's everything on this channel. If you just want to hear me rant about stuff, I got that. You want the civilized, just regular, just one-on-one talks like this with the Coffee with Jones. You got that. Then you got the wrestling stuff. We out here. Comment, like, subscribe, stream my new album, 88th Avenue. Stay positive, and I'm out. Peace. See you next week.